So I'm thinking about it as kind of 4 different groups, obviously very interconnected and with any marketing team, kind of in lockstep, focusing on similar initiatives. But the first is around demand and ops. So anything that's bringing in and converting those quality leads into meetings for our sales team. The second is around brand and communications. And so how are we thinking about the thought leadership and the presence that we have in the market? And, like we were talking about, ensuring that when we are not in the room, what are customers and prospects saying about us? The third is around product. So, how are we positioning ourselves? How are we thinking about our, voice of the customer and launching new features and functionality, ensuring that our sales and CS teams are armed with all of the right tools in order to tell the best story. And then the last one, which is probably one of my favorites, and we're going to start building out some really fun stuff that I'll tell you about in a future episode, around customer love and community. And so this one, because of where MadKudu sits, right, in a pretty crowded space of marketing tech solutions, we have some of the most amazing marketing teams that we work with. Like you mentioned, some of them, Segment, we've got Intercoms, Shopify, MongoDB, the list really goes on. How do we, in a typical SaaS motion, ensure that these customers and users are becoming advocates and evangelists for our products? But also, when we build out this idea of a community, how do we incorporate other players in the space? There's a lot of tools that we either integrate with, sit next to, have the potential to integrate with in a future version of the product. When there are so many options for marketers, there's just, I think at one point we calculated the number of tech stack possibilities when you just look at like 3 different tools, like your CRM, your marketing automation tool, and your sales engagement tool, right? Like there's
like 1,000,
8 million or something,
what?
Right? Yeah. Like if you do all the different variations, like there's 300 some different sales and engagement solutions. How do we know, like, how does a startup know which ones they should hitch their wagon to? And so thinking about that and building out a real function within the company to focus on that, I think is going to be a winning strategy.